What is up, guys? Welcome back. So this thing has a pretty severe oil leak. It's getting pretty bad to the point where it needs to be addressed before I drive it anymore. There's oil all over everything. It goes all the way back. There's even some oil back there on the muffler. It's going everywhere. Now at first I was hoping it was just an oil pan gasket, so I changed that, but you can see it's something above all that. What I'm assuming it is the oil pump seal, because it only leaks while it's under driving load. I can leave it running, parked, idling forever, and it will never leak a drop. As soon as I drive it and start moving, it starts coming out. And while I'm under there doing all this, I figured I might as well go ahead and replace all the engine mounts as well. There's 4 of them, well, 3 engine mounts and 1 transmission mount. And I think that's going to help me with my exhaust problem as well. I think there's too much movement in the engine. That's what's causing the exhaust bracket to completely rip off, and it's sitting down on the subframe. So I think with new mounts, it'll raise everything up just enough. 1/8 of an inch would honestly solve my problem. So that's probably a good idea. Couldn't hurt. This car's 30 years old. But while I was trying to come up with a plan of attack, I remembered that in order to do the engine mounts, I'm gonna have to support the bottom of the engine, probably by placing a jack and a block on the oil pan. I don't want to do that on good, fresh, new seals for obvious reasons if I'm trying to fix a leak. That just doesn't sound like a good idea. So I think I'm gonna do the motor mounts first, and then I'll tackle that project. So while I'm waiting for those to show up, I've just been making some room, removing some things that would be in the way. You may need to remove the cruise control system here in order to reach some of these bolts for this mount here. This is the hardest mount to do just because of all the stuff that's in the way, but I may be able to get around it here. I got the battery out. That's not completely necessary. You do want to disconnect your battery before you go doing all of this stuff, but I took it out just for video purposes and a little extra work room. You will need to remove your airbox or filter in order to reach this mount. This is the easiest one, so I'm going to do this one first. I'm also going to clean up some of this rusty hardware and brackets and stuff, and maybe shoot them with a coat of paint just to clean everything up while it's out. And then I'm also going to have to remove this piece of exhaust in order to remove the oil pan. So I think that's what I'm going to start on now. And I'm also going to drain all the oil out while we're waiting, might as well. Yeah.
What are you doing in your car?
Trying to fix it.
Trying to fix it?
These are on there pretty good. Don't know why I expected anything different. They've been persuaded. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is remove this exhaust wrap. It's all crumbling off anyway and falling apart, and that crap can cause some issues anyway. So I'm gonna get that off of there. I don't know if you can see all those little fibers in the air, but these things are a disaster. That's another reason I'm taking this off. I feel like it causes more problems than it helps. Y'all, when I say this stuff is a nightmare, I am not kidding. See all these fibers? This crap is a mess. It is everywhere. It just floats in the air. It falls everywhere. Now, normally I would not recommend pressure washing or putting that much water in your engine bay. I had to get rid of those fibers. They are terrible. I cannot stress to you enough how terrible they are. But since we have the battery disconnected and everything, it should be good. I'm just gonna let everything dry completely before any power goes to anything. But now that she's had a shower, I need to do the same because I have that crap all over me. I'm gonna change clothes, take a shower before I touch anything else. All right, so originally I'd planned to give you guys 2 good long videos diving into these 2 huge projects I'm about to get into. Replacing the oil pump seals, fixing that oil leak, and replacing all 4 of the motor mounts. But not only did I get extremely sick, I've been in bed for the past 3 days. But the weather has also decided to be very bipolar. It went from 75 degrees and sunny one day to this the next day. So I've kind of had to put everything on hold for a little bit. Figured I'll still give you guys this update and just show you that process of preparing everything. But as soon as I'm feeling better and the weather decides to cooperate a little bit, I'm gonna get right back to these projects. So for now, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.